used to think every conversation deserved a response. Then I realized some folks ain't confused. They committed to being ignorant. So now, I let them talk. And I keep collecting blessings. I used to pull up ready facts lined up neat. Whole damn folder full of proof receipts stacked deep. They moved the goalpost twice, then swear they never moved it. I finally looked around and said, damn, these folks committed. They'll argue with a stop sign, fight with a GPS. Tell a doctor he wrong and Google they own mess. Got opinions by the gallon, wisdom by the drop. Every time you think they hit bottom, they find another spot. Used to make me hot, used to ruin my day. Now I laugh, sip my drink and watch the circus play. I stopped arguing with stupid. Got too much life to live, too many goals to reach, too many blessings to give. I stopped arguing with stupid. Let them have the last word, cause every fool need an audience, and I ain't buying tickets, sir. I stopped arguing with stupid. Now my stress done got fired. The older I get, the less I'm inspired to explain common sense to people addicted to chaos. Got folks who borrow money, then tell you how to spend yours. Live in a house made of excuses, still judging your front door. Got folks who hate your success before they clap for your grind. Missed every sleepless night, but showed up for the shine. Some people don't want answers, they want attention instead. You hand them a ladder up, they ask for a mattress bed. Every family reunion got one, every neighborhood too. That one loud-ass relative who somehow know more than you. Granddaddy told me, boy, quit feeding stray dogs. Some of them just bark cause they like hearing noise. I stopped arguing with stupid. Got too much peace to protect. You can disagree all day, but you gon' respect this respect. I stopped arguing with stupid. Ain't no trophy at the end. Never seen a fool become wise just because you tried to convince him. Look around. The happiest people I know ain't online fighting. Ain't in everybody's business. Ain't explaining themselves every day. They play, they work, they laugh, they dance, they pray, and they keep it moving. Now when stupid come knocking, I don't answer the door. I done learned every lesson that foolishness got in store. You can argue with yourself, you can argue with the wall, you can argue with the mirror. I ain't answering the call, cause peace got expensive and I paid every fee. Now I guard that thing like gold, ain't nobody getting it free. I stopped arguing with stupid, and my whole life got lighter. Got more sleep, more joy, and my future got brighter. I stopped arguing with stupid. That's a lesson hard earned. Some folks gotta stay lost cause they refuse to learn. I stopped arguing with stupid. I stopped carrying that load. Now I smile, hit my stride, and stay on my road. You know what maturity sounds like? Not winning every argument. It's knowing which conversations deserve your energy and which ones deserve a wave, a smile, and a you got it. Stop arguing. Stop arguing. Stop arguing. Stop arguing.
Yes, yes, yes. We will stop arguing with stupid. Y'all already know who this is. This is your girl, Mrs. Kiwi, along with my beautiful co-host,
Miss Mink is in the house.
and we are back in the building, and we have yet another great topic for you on tonight. It is
Yes.
I stopped arguing with
With
stupid.
stupid.
But right now,
Ooh.
Miss Mink, let us know what why not stands for.
So we done stopped arguing with stupid too. However, we want to bridge the gap between our youth and our season. And how we are doing that, we most definitely want to grab them back, grab them back, grab them back. It's so much going on in this world of today. And our topic kind of fits in with what our mission statement is, as well as all our topics do. For the simple fact and reason being, our youth need to learn how to stop arguing over stupid crap and just walk away. Be the bigger person. Walk away. But there is a lot of knowledge that we learn from our season. So we need our youth. Come on now. Pick some season's brains and stop arguing with stupid.
Yes, yes. Stop arguing with stupid. This is a great topic on tonight. So call in 515-599-1687. The number is 515-599-1687. Let's stop arguing with stupid.
Oh, most definitely. So, absolutely. I stopped arguing with stupid.
Yes.
Hey, when you stop arguing with stupid, it can be very, very serious as far as to how you can progress. Because when you stop arguing with stupid, you start protecting your peace, knowing when to disengage. And you realize every argument doesn't deserve your energy. And that's what it is. We spend too much time, too much of our time, too much of our energy arguing with stupid. Let stupid go. Let stupid be what stupid is.
But have you ever realized that you're not losing the argument, you're wasting your time?
That's right. Yes.
Not every battle deserves a response.
That's right.
Let's talk about it.
Why respond to everything that drains you?
Yeah.
Why?
Oh.
Learn to recognize what's draining you and stop arguing about it.
And also realize when you are in an argument, nobody is getting heard.
That's right. Absolutely.
All you all are doing is shouting at each other. I don't hear you. You don't hear me. So our point did not get crossed.
Not at all.
So let's stop arguing with stupid.
Yes.
Let's start thinking before we speak. Let's humble our spirit before we even allow anybody to get us aroused.
Right, exactly. Because stupid can be very loud. Like
Yes,
you
it
just
can.
stated, when you arguing, then that means that nothing's being solved. And both of y'all actually being stupid because you going back and forth. You going back and forth. And it does get louder and louder and louder and louder. But just because it gets louder doesn't mean that it's right.
And it don't mean that you being heard. It's pointless argument. That's all it is. Pointless argument.
Yeah. So why some people argue just to be heard? Use more confidence and more knowledge and learn how to communicate. We talk about that all the time as far as communication. Communication is key. But if it is that you haven't learned how to communicate, then I don't know what door that key is turning, but it's not turning the right door.
So what does I stop arguing with stupid mean to you, Miss Mink?
So what that means to me is, just like I stated at the beginning, I'm learning to protect my peace. I'm learning to show that I'm the bigger person. I'm learning to just disengage because it's a waste of time when it is that you arguing with stupid. Like we just said, no points are actually being made or gotten across. So why do we want to continue? That is pointless. And it's a lot of energy when it is that you arguing. So you wasting it. That energy.
But they say some people aren't looking for understanding though when they're arguing. Some people are just trying to, let off steam or get their frustration out. Some people just feel like arguing is gonna settle it. Like you know, I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, and that's gonna be it. But at the end of the day, I'm looking at you, and you probably looking at me like, what did we even say to each other? You know,
at the end of the day, what did we just solve?
Yeah,
nothing.
Nothing
But
at
except
all.
for you probably mad at each other at that time, you know, and so then you gotta try and cool down. Why not learn how to have sensible conversations? And you don't have to come at somebody like a raging bull in order to get a point across.
Exactly.
Most definitely. You being just as stupid as stupid does.
Exactly. And a lot of people argue just to get a reaction out of the other person. So that just goes back to what we were saying earlier. We have to be in control of ourselves. When you are more in control of yourself, you're not going to argue, because it always takes two to argue. I'm going to let you know, I am learning that, yeah, start keeping my mouth closed. Just be silent. Even if somebody rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah.
I don't have to always be, you know, jump to the defense, or I don't even have to always put the energy back into it when somebody wants to argue about it. I'm just going to I'm just going to be starting to look at you like, oh, really? Okay.
Yep. And just like you just said, silence. Silence is sometimes the key, you know, and silence has really became my superpower. I have learned to use that as a superpower. That can sometimes piss somebody off even more than wasting your time going back and forth, because then they feel, oh, she's not listening to me, or, you know, whatever the case may be. No, I choose not to indulge in what it is that you are doing. You know, I feel that when I become silent, it takes about 30 minutes for someone to possibly realize, oh, this ain't even worth it. Just let it go. You know, because what you have to realize is people are entitled to their own opinions.
Yeah.
Everybody don't think the same. Everybody doesn't speak the same. Everybody doesn't act the same.
Exactly.
So we are all different and unique.
Yeah.
We are human, but we all are different and unique. And for us to sit up there and just keep going back and forth at each other. Yeah, nothing's
So when do you actually know when an argument isn't worth having?
When do you know that an argument is not worth having?
When do you know that an argument is not worth having?
Well, I think that regardless to what the topic is or the situation is, I feel that an argument is not worth having from the beginning, for the simple fact and reason being, like we just said, and we've been speaking to it, nothing's going to get resolved. So if you choose to argue instead of communicate and talk, then it's wasted time.
Yeah, I feel like when you arguing, it's one of those things where when it's not worth having is when the conversation become about who's winning, or like I got the ups on you instead of an understanding, because in an argument you're not understanding nothing.
That's right.
And it ain't about winning, because nobody wins in an argument.
Nope, they sure don't. As a matter of fact, both people get hurt in that argument, because words get said. We always say that, hey, words is like a sword. Actually, words is like a gun. Baby, when you start shooting words at people, that can literally do a lot of damage than an actual freaking bullet. So we really, have to learn how to communicate. One of my listeners said, that's why I'm still living to this day. I keep my mouth shut and just listens. Yes, silence will kill a person. That is no joke. Silence
because, in an argument, y'all get to twisting each other's words. You done heard what you ain't heard. And, I done said what I didn't say.
That's right.
Nobody's listening, and we refusing to listen. It's like I got to talk over you because I got to get my point across.
That's
it's just a lot of wasted breath.
That's
all
right.
It is a lot of wasted breath.
So when, how do you know, wait a minute, I'm sorry. What finally made you say, I'm done, when it is that you have been arguing with stupid?
when you realize that nothing's getting solved.
That's
Nothing's
right.
getting resolved. Nobody's hearing nobody. You know, after a while, you know, don't get me wrong, I'm guilty of it. I gotta have the last word. But I've gotten to the point where when we start having maybe 1 to 2 words and nobody's hearing each other, I just shut down.
Mm-hmm.
I shut down and I feel like, okay, go ahead and state your case. I'ma listen. Because in order for us to resolve this, somebody gotta listen.
Yep,
So I'll be the one that listen. Go ahead. And I'ma not talk and I'ma listen while you talk. Because I'm going to tell you, I used to be that one, like, you could be talking, I'm butting in, because at that point, something clicked in my head, and I just got to say what I got to say. But at the end of the day, nothing still got resolved.
That's right.
And you didn't hear what you heard, and I didn't hear what I heard, and we didn't hear nothing right.
Stupid is as stupid does.
You
so therefore, stupid arguing with stupid. And yes, like you said, you know, and a lot of times you recognize that arguments become a pattern. Relationships, friendships, family, oh my God, social media. Oh my goodness. When I say that these arguments that be occurring on social media is so stupid, it's literally so stupid. And it's a waste of time. Because first and foremost, you arguing with what? And you ain't even arguing with AI. You arguing with yourself. Because that other person on the other end is not actually reciprocating what it is that you saying. Y'all going back and forth on social media
for nothing.
And you know
and
what?
Really, you embarrassing yourself.
But it's becoming very entertaining.
It's very entertaining.
Yep.
And
people find it entertaining.
People love that. People gravitate to the negativity as opposed to gravitating to the truth or something positive. But why do you feel like people why do people feel like they have to prove themselves
or have the last word?
Yeah,
because that's that ego. A lot of people be on ego trips. Yep, like you said, pride. So when it is that you let pride stand up in you, then that means that you laying down at that point and your pride is taking control and you are just, you're irrational.
Yeah.
You are really irrational. Some people have to learn when pride needs to be laid to the side because like
pride to make you miss out on a whole lot of stuff.
Sure does.
But you know what? Call in. We would love to hear you all's opinion on I Stop Arguing with Stupid. 515-599-1687. That's 515-599-1687. And a lot of times people argue too because of the insecurity.
Oh, yes,
A lot of people be insecure. You know, first off, they insecure because they done already probably lied. So now they got to try to cover up for that lie. So then they start being insecure about the whole conversation.
Yep.
And now they really up in an uproar because they knew they were wrong from the get-go.
Yes.
You know?
Would you say that walking away is a weakness or wisdom?
I would say it's wisdom.
Okay, explain.
I would say wisdom because a person that can walk away from an argument really is the one that's winning. Because you're not giving none of your energy. You're not devoting the negativity. You know, when you stoop down on that level with that person, you're no better than that person. So who am I to say you stupid? I'm just as stupid. Right. Because I'm sitting here going back and forth. Back and forth. Do I have that type of energy to give to somebody? No. Like I can take that energy and put it into something positive that's gonna make me get somewhere in life. Right. But a lot of times we allow our feelings and our emotions to get the best of us, so we feel like we gotta argue back and forth, and you still don't get nowhere
and don't get nothing accomplished. Why do you feel some people need? Do you feel that people can disagree with someone without exchanging words?
Can you? Yeah, I can. to disagree with you without changing the word meaning. When you get reared up and start, I just won't say nothing.
Yep. And that's the best solution.
I'm going to keep silent.
Yep.
And I'm just going to look at you and allow you to get reared up, get to arguing, because at the end of the day, you arguing with yourself. Because to be honest with you, I've learned to look at you and tune you all the way out. And you think I'm listening, but I'm really not.
No.
I'm just looking at you like,
Right.
Or I might be looking at something behind you, just looking your way. Because a lot of people feel like, why you looking at me? And you ain't even looking at them. You looking past them.
Right.
You know? So,
do you feel that sometimes it's best to ignore when it is that someone has taken it to that level to where it's an argument and really can escalate even beyond?
Sometimes it's better to ignore.
Yeah.
Because if you allow yourself to get reared up from that, it could be somebody could end up getting hurt. So, yeah, but, you know, a lot of people get mad at you when you ignore them, because then they go from what they arguing about to, why you ignoring me? And you looking at them like, fool, I'm ignoring you because I don't want to bust you upside your head. Or I don't want this to escalate and we say something that we can't take back. Because a lot of people feel like, oh, I said it, but I'm sorry. But a lot of times, sorry be sorry, but it ain't sorry to the point where I'm not going to think about what you said to me. Or what you said to me didn't hurt my feelings to the point where I can't get past that right now. So we have to start thinking about what we're saying. And instead of arguing with somebody, you be the bigger person. Collect yourself and your thoughts, and then let them say what they gonna say, and then you come back in a godly way, in a humble tongue, and you speak to them and say what you have to say, what's on your mind. But you don't have to get huffed and puffed with them like they do, because it don't solve nothing.
That's right. It doesn't. Absolutely it doesn't. You know, like I had stated earlier when you had asked that question about what was it that you had asked? How do you know when an argument isn't worth your energy? Because I just want to live life peacefully. And I feel that if you constantly in argument and you constantly going back and forth, you're not living life peacefully.
No.
And I choose to protect my peace. I choose to protect my mind. I choose to protect my surroundings and my space, because I don't want all that negativity in my space. So I choose not to do that. So I choose not to argue with stupid.
You know what? I'm going to give out a scripture that deals with stop arguing with stupid. Proverbs 17:14. The beginning of strife is as when one letteth out water. Therefore leave off contention before it be meddled within. So what they're saying is, before you allow yourself to get into that funk or allow your feelings to get huffed and puffed as well, just humble yourself. You know, sometimes it's hard. I'm not gonna sit here and act like, oh, it's just easy to do that. It's not. It takes practice, discipline, and it takes really you being tired and sick and tired of being tired of arguing with stupid.
That's right. Arguing with stupid. So it's time out for arguing with stupid. Right now I'm about to argue with this stupid phone because it's not picking up a signal. But yes,
that's just the trick of the enemy. So don't allow it to even get to you.
Exactly.
You know, let's just keep on rolling, because the enemy gets no play up in here.
Yes.
So the next question I have to my audience, please call in, talk to us. We definitely gonna talk back. Have you ever lost a relationship because you argued too much?
That's a good one. I probably have. I probably have lost a lot of them that, you know, I probably haven't recognized, but I know that I recognize if it's toxic or not. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure that I have lost plenty of relationships because of arguments.
And
Yeah.
so, sometimes we be so focused on being right to where we really don't realize that we done damaged the relationship the way we damaged it because we so focused on, I gotta be right. What I'm saying is right. When in reality, there is wrong and fault in both of us. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a better way that we could resolve this. And there's a better way that we can talk to each other as opposed to getting loud, arguing, cussing each other out, name calling and all of that. Because like we said, it still resolves nothing. Both of us leave away from her hurt. Both of us still didn't get our point across. So what was the purpose? You know? So we have to learn how to communicate better as opposed to letting our feelings make us flare up or emotions make us flare up. So,
do you feel that someone can disagree with someone without disrespecting them?
Yes. Yes. You come on now. You gotta. And there is people probably that feel like you can't. But yes, you can disagree to agree to disagree. That don't mean I don't respect you.
Right.
That don't mean that I don't even that don't mean that I don't respect what you saying to me. I just don't agree with what you saying, to me. So yeah, you definitely can disagree without being disrespectful.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you feel happens when you stop explaining yourself to people?
Well, I'm going to tell you what happened with me. Because in this season of my life, I refuse to explain myself to people. Because here's my thing. Instead of people sending their representative to get to know that person, send your real self and get to know the person that you're dealing with. And then some of that stuff that we have to explain about ourselves, we wouldn't have to explain it.
Right.
Because you're going to already know.
Right, exactly, absolutely.
And what's already known, you ain't even got to explain it.
You sure don't. Like we stated earlier, hey, silence is the best response. Silence is the best response. Not always is silence the best response. But until it is that you learn how to communicate with one another, silence is the best response. Because if you don't know how to communicate with someone, then it's best to shut up.
And I'm going to say this too. I'm going to even say some people know how to communicate with people. But sometimes silence is still the best. Because, a lot of people get the feeling like you don't respect what they saying, or like you said, you disagree with what they saying. So now they feeling like you're being rude or you're being disrespectful. So sometimes just because you want to express yourself, that doesn't necessarily mean I have to even respond or talk at all.
Right.
I could just listen.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. Sometimes it's best to just listen, because not all the time do people want a response.
Exactly.
Not all the time do people want you to say something. Sometimes when people are talking to you, they just want somebody to listen. They want that listening ear. And that's a means of communication when it comes to just listen. That's a strong means of communication.
So let me ask you
the
this
capability
then.
to listen.
What's the difference between being quiet and being passive?
So quiet means that you are in a space where you're taking in what it is that others are saying. You're actually using your cognitive and listening skills, versus when it is that you're being passive, it's just whatever.
Right.
I don't care.
Being passive is allowing people to like walk over you.
Yeah.
And being
it's
quiet
just whatever.
You can still have a choice when you being quiet, because I'm gonna let you speak, and I'm gonna be quiet, and I'm gonna listen, and then I'll speak, because at that moment I'm still giving you a choice, like you're still giving me a choice. But when you're arguing back and forth,
neither one have a choice.
Neither one of y'all have a choice. Neither one of you have a choice.
No. Well, I take that back. You do, because we just stated it. When it is that you're going back and forth, one of y'all, being a bigger person, have the choice to walk away, or one of y'all, being a bigger person has a choice to be silent and not say nothing. One of y'all have the choice of just listening and not responding unless it is that you ask to respond.
Or just speak up when it's necessary.
Right,
Sometimes,
exactly.
like you said, sometimes it's best to be quiet.
Yep.
Just speak when it's necessary. Or speak when, when you feel like there's something that you want to make a valid point within. But, stop arguing with stupid, because it's not getting you nowhere.
It's not getting you
It's
nowhere.
not getting you nowhere.
So, what's the difference between standing your ground and arguing just to argue?
When you stand on your ground, it's just something you believe in. That's something that you actually stand for, something that you feel like is right. But just arguing, just to be arguing, is just you trying to prove your point, whether you right or wrong. You just trying to prove a point. Or you just feel like I could just, argue with you just because I want to. Not because I really got a point to prove, just because I want to argue.
I'm going to prove to you that I can win this argument.
Yeah,
And that's what, that's a good point, that some people feel that they have a point to make. And the point is that, oh, no, you ain't shutting me down. I'm not going to shut up. No, you're not winning this argument. I got this one. But you actually don't have it, for the simple fact and reason being, I'm telling you, arguing wear me out. It literally wear me out.
Draining.
It give me a headache.
It's draining.
It makes me want to go and lay down and get some sleep. I don't have time for the arguing back and forth.
So what do you actually do when somebody try to keep pulling you into drama? What do you do when somebody steady try to pull you into drama?
You know what? I'll say that in the past, I've allowed myself to be pulled into drama, and I go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But here, I'm going to say here lately, because my past is not that short-lived. Whereas, too, I didn't, get pulled into arguments or being the one who was arguing and cussing and fussing. But here lately, I've just really been focusing on my peace. I've literally just been focusing on that's all I want. God has ordained for us to live a peaceful life. So therefore, I just want what God has set in stone for me, and that is peace. So I've learned that it's best not to say nothing. It's best not to let that, whatever it is that's tick, 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 and keep coming at you and being shot at you or whatever. Hey, just let it. You got on a shield. And when you are a strong Christian, you already got that armor of God all on you. So whatever darts, bullets, swords, whatever,
goes right back to you.
That's right.
That's right. So I'm going to give you another scripture. It's Proverbs 18:2. It says, a fool hath no delight in understanding, but that his heart may discover itself.
Ooh, that's deep right there. Because, say that again.
Proverbs 18:2. A fool hath no delight in understanding, but that his heart may discover itself.
A fool has no delight in understanding.
Meaning, a fool gonna keep on arguing because he ain't trying to delight in understanding what you saying.
That's right.
He don't care about what you saying.
That's why he
just want to argue and argue. Yes. And in his heart, he right.
That's right. Absolutely.
In his heart, he's right. Mm-hmm. So he just gonna keep on and keeping on. But at what moment or at what point do you accept responsibility or accountability in that argument?
Well, you start, like we always say, you got to look at the man in the mirror. So you got to start questioning yourself. Why am I sitting here arguing back and forth with this fool? Why? He's not listening, or she's not listening to nothing that I'm saying. She's not catching nothing that I'm saying. So why am I arguing back and forth with them? As a matter of fact, why am I sitting here just letting them argue with me? Mm-hmm. Why am I sitting here just okay, here, I tell you what, it's time for me to exit stage left.
That's right.
So that you can continue in what it is that you want to continue in, but I'm going to go on about my business, because there's other things that I could be doing than sitting here and letting you,
pull me into that drama. So you know what I'm saying? I'm like you. I'm gonna excuse myself from the situation because the more I stay, then the more I kind of want to be involved in that drama.
Right, absolutely.
You know, the more you stick around, the more you really want to be in you know, involved in that drama. Or you know, I might try to change the subject. Let's change the subject. Let's not talk about that. You know, because I see how that make you feel.
Right.
Let's just change the subject.
And you know, and sometimes that can piss people off even more because
Yeah.
now you're trying to shut me down.
up. Yeah,
Now
so
you
you
trying
in a
to stop me
lose-lose,
from
you know?
expressing my feelings and all of that stuff. No, I mean,
I'm just gonna flat out tell you, I'm not going there with you. That's just simple. I'm not finna go there with you.
Exactly. I have a scripture. So Proverbs 26, 4-5, knowing when not to engage. And that's something that we just were talking about. Answer not a fool according to his folly, lest thou also be like unto him. Answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own conceit.
Yes.
So that just basically is saying, if we answer a fool, that means that we just as bad as
We are.
That's stupid is.
And I'll say this, unless when you respond and answer, it's with something godly that's trying to calm them down and trying to, you know, rectify or trying to, you know, smooth over the situation. Somebody on my live said, cut them off, protect your peace and sanity.
That's right. Cut them off. Cut them off.
Yes,
So
yes.
I would like to add, I wish that person would call in.
Call
because
in,
I
y'all.
would love to ask
515-599-1687.
So
Come
how
and
do you
jump
cut them
on this
off?
Huh?
How do you cut them off?
Stop dealing with them.
Okay, but what if it's
And
not
that's when you're in that relationship.
right? Because it may not be worth just stop dealing with them. But how do you cut them off when it is that they in the moment, they arguing, and how do you cut them off?
I'm done. And you drop the mic and walk off.
That's gonna cut them off. Sometimes that don't cut them off. That just make them pissed off.
Well,
and
guess
they
what?
escalate even
Well,
more.
guess what? They'll be arguing with themselves.
Well, yeah.
Cause why are we gonna listen? That's just like when, you know, I used to be in arguments or whatever. After I got tired of arguing, cause my mouth done got dry, I'm all cotton mouth. I just, you know, stop and I'll walk off. Because sometimes you have to, like they said, you really have to protect your peace.
Yes.
And it's obvious if a person keep going on and on and on and on, they don't care about their peace.
Nope. They don't care about yours neither.
Exactly. So guess what? You could be hollering at the top of your lungs, but I'm going to be out in the other room fixing me something to eat. And I bet you going to smell it. And I bet you going to want some. So you might as well just stop arguing because you going to want some of my food.
That's
now, I could be mean and be like, nope. Nope. Look at all that you were just doing. You can't have none of my food. But to smooth it over after because they cotton mouth, now they came in the kitchen trying to act like, you know, like, shoot, let me give me something to drink. Yeah, you need something to drink because you done got all cotton
That's
mouth.
right. After all that spitting while you doing
Come on
that.
now.
I have another Proverbs for you. 29:11. A fool uttereth all his mind, but a wise man keepeth in till afterwards.
That's right.
I'm a true believer in what my grandmother used to say. An empty wagon makes a lot of noise. So when it is that you arguing and you arguing and you arguing, you making a lot of noise, but ain't making no sense.
Ain't making no sense.
Ain't making no sense.
But you know what? This, because you know, this bug up here that keep flying, girl. If that bug fly over here on me, y'all.
He was just up above your head.
Don't, oh, girl. In Jesus' name, baby, this wig might go one way, and I might go the other way. But what did you learn about yourself when you stopped arguing? What did you learn about yourself when you stopped arguing?
What did I learn?
I learned that I had more control over myself.
Okay.
I learned that practicing discipline really works for me. And I also learned that I keep some of my energy when I don't give it to other
That's
people.
true. Ooh, yes. I mean, all of the above with
I'm
that.
sitting there about to turn a cartwheel, and you sitting there. Because you didn't argue, you
Right,
know?
exactly.
Like, come on.
Yes. You learn real quick that it's really not worth your time when it is that it's just constant argument. Because as we've been talking through, this whole topic tonight, it's a lot of time and energy
It is.
sitting up there arguing. And then honestly, you lose what to say.
Right.
You start throwing out words that don't make sense.
Okay.
You start you don't make sense.
And you start throwing out words that's really, really hurtful.
You can.
Words that you can't come back from.
Mm-hmm.
Not right away anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Because we all have to have a forgiving heart even. We all supposed to have a forgiving heart regardless.
Yep.
But sometimes things hurt so bad to where you're not able to forgive right away.
Mm-hmm.
You got to let that sink in, then run on out of you, and then come back, and it's going to come back and resurface, and you got to let it sink in again and run up out of you. Because you saying, like, is this how they really feel?
Right.
Like, this is how they really been feeling, and they really been waiting to say this to me.
Yep.
So, then you get the question of your love. Then you get the question of, like, really, do this person like me?
Right, exactly.
Like, what is really going on? But I also learned that I don't have to react immediately.
You don't.
Mm-mm.
Because not every action takes an immediate reaction. Not every action you have to immediately react. You got to let it sometimes soak in when it is that you're in the moment. Because like you just stated, when you're in the moment, then that's when a lot of things can be said that shouldn't be said. There's a lot of actions that can be done that shouldn't be done.
Yeah.
So we have to learn how to pick our battles.
You got to pause.
Yep.
You got to think.
You got to think.
And you got to decide whether or not this situation
is
even deserving of my attention.
That's right.
Absolutely.
So
that just goes back to what we've been saying. Like, we got to stop allowing people to draw us in.
Yes.
Stop drawing us in, and that comes with practicing discipline. That comes with, protecting your peace.
Yes.
Your energy.
Yes.
Come on now.
Be that difference maker. You know what? I look at a lot of people in the world that are difference makers. And then I look at a lot of people in the world that are different making. And meaning, what I mean by that is that they are so busy trying to fit in until there is no difference. You just like the next Joe or the next Sally or the next Sue, because you're not standing out, because everybody's doing the same thing in that circle that you run around in. At what point do you stop arguing with stupid and become a difference maker?
And this question is somewhat like the one we asked earlier. Does ignoring someone mean you don't care? But I just wanted to reiterate on that too, because I was just thinking about a situation that I was in one time, and we was in a heated argument. We was in a heated argument. We start calling names that you can't forgive, know. And we start just, and I just bust out and started crying. I just started crying. And I started crying because I'm saying, how can two people that say they love each other
hurt each other?
How
so
can
bad?
we be sitting here acting like we two people out on the streets and don't even know each other? So, it make you start questioning, do we really care for each other?
Do we
actually
like
like each other?
Right.
Do we know each other? And then do we love each other?
Right.
Because two people that say they love each other, and that's why a lot of times I say that people of today, and I'm just, and this is just my opinion, people of today are not falling in love. they're in lust. They're in lust. And lust has a lot of things that people feel like love is. But love is not that.
No, it's
love
not.
is not hurt. Love don't hurt.
Nope.
You know,
Don't
love does
hurt.
not hurt.
Don't hurt.
Love don't make you cuss. Love don't make you pop somebody upside the head. You know, just being serious. That's not love. That's control. And people got to start understanding.
Or lack thereof of
Right.
control.
You know, there is a spirit called lust. And a lot of people say love. I love you. I love you. I really love you. But really, they're lusting. They're lusting. They're lusting off the, you know, because they like what you doing for them. Or they like that you cooking for them. Or they like because when they call you, you there at they beck and call. You know what I'm saying? They like because you got that big old bottom or them big old breasts. And, you know, I'm just saying, because love should not hurt at all.
That's right.
Love don't hurt. Because God loves don't hurt.
No.
It don't
sure
hurt at all.
It does
God
not.
love is so sweet and so protective, made me get a chill over here.
That's right. So, you know, there was a question on here that says, who in your life taught you every battle doesn't need your participation? And my response to that is that as it is that I grow closer and closer to God, that's who has taught me that every battle doesn't need my participation.
And I'm gonna give a
because I can't fight those battles.
Exactly.
No way. I can't fight
I'm gonna give my mama I'm gonna give my grandmama and my mama, because they've always said that too. Not so much in that, you know, aspect, but they always have said, like, you know, you don't have to jump to the defense of every time somebody speaks, you know, say something to you or come at you in a wrong way or you know, just none of that. You know, I was always taught to defend myself, but there's a way you can defend yourself where you don't even have to use a lot of energy to defend yourself.
Exactly. You don't have to use a lot of energy to defend yourself. So that's where it is that I am right now, as far as as growing up. Hey, believe me, much love was provided throughout the family that came from my mother, my grandmothers. But as I have grown in my Christian walk, I have learned to realize that I don't have to fight these battles.
Exactly.
I don't have to fight them. I've been equipped to just have that armor on because God is already up front fighting all my battles. So I have learned to start, not all the time now, I still have my moments where I try to jump out front. However, I'm learning more and more to sink back, to lay back, and just have that suit of armor on while God is already up front fighting my battle.
So what if a person is actually wrong and you know the truth?
So if a person, okay, so how do you know that they may not even recognize the truth? They may not recognize or even want to take accountability for what the truth is. Right. So regardless to how much you may argue about the truth, how much proof you have, how much it's laid out in front of them, they still will choose whether or not it is that they want to accept the truth and take accountability for it, or if it is that they just want to keep wallowing in, no, I ain't do that. Nope, that ain't true. Nope, I ain't did nothing like that.
But you know, people got to start feeling like I can tell the truth without fighting. Yeah. Because sometimes when you are telling the truth, but then you get the rearing up and getting angry, it makes you look guilty. Even if you're not guilty. You know, we have to learn how to get back to that being humble. And, you know, I don't have to raise my voice, or I don't have to get all huffed, you know, because I'm telling you the truth. Now, whether, like you said, whether or not you accept the truth, that's your choice. But the truth don't need no support.
No, because the truth got evidence. The truth has proof. The truth, hey, I'm telling you, the truth will set you free. Because just like we said, sitting up here arguing with stupid, when it is that you telling the truth, then you feel at peace with yourself anyway. So yes, just tell the truth.
What is your biggest lesson from stopping arguing with stupid? What would you say your biggest lesson is with stop arguing with stupid?
Well, I mean, basically everything it is that we've been talking about, tonight. My biggest lesson is just how peaceful I can be, just how much my peace is protected, just how much my mind is protected, because, our minds are always racing. So when it is that I'm not arguing, or I'm not listening to people argue, or I'm not going back and forth with stupid, then I'm more at peace. So that's what I've learned is my peace.
And someone on my live said, if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. Is what we was taught. Yeah, what we was taught. As I become wiser, I see the wait a minute, hold on. I see the try meaning in that. So right, and that's so true. If you don't have nothing nice to say, just don't say it at all.
Yeah,
I'm like Medea. Child, if I ain't got nothing nice to say, I'm just gonna wave my hand.
That's right. Be quiet. Just be quiet.
Yeah. She said you can't argue with people like that. They need self-healing, and that's so true.
Oh,
because
that
we
right
don't,
there. Yes.
We don't never know what somebody
else
is going through in their personal life, and sometimes to argue with a person might send them on over the edge.
Yes.
We just don't know. We have to make sure that
and whatever mindset they in at that point anyway, they not gonna read. They not reasoning.
And not
it's
at all.
not a reasoning.
Not at
so
all.
yes, most definitely that is so true.
But in stop arguing with stupid. Some of the lessons that I have learned is that I don't have to attend every argument. Like I said, hey, I'm going to let you speak your piece, and I'm just going to sit back. Because sometimes you need to just get that off of your chest. But even with getting things off of your chest, it's still a way that you can express yourself without being huffed and puffed. Now, I'm going to say this. I am a loud person. When it's something that I feel strongly about, or I get emotional, and in getting emotional I do get loud. But I just want people to know that I'm not always arguing because I'm loud. I'm just when something is really what's the word I'm looking for? What is the word I'm looking for? Passionate about something, and you know it to be true. I be passionate, and but even with being loud, that still can kind of intimidate a person to make them feel like, oh, here she go.
Right.
Here she go.
On.
Yeah,
Here she go. Yep. So, I mean, and you know what? And I get that, and I truly understand it. I have an inner voice. Before now, like I said, hey, I'm still working in progress.
Yes,
in reference to because baby. I can't. Honey, this tongue right here can cut you up, cut you down, sideways, and then I start feeling bad about it. So that that's something that I learned. Why even go there when you gonna feel bad about it in the end?
Yeah.
Why even go there? Because that was just wasted time and wasted energy instead of thinking about what it is that you are trying to say, or you trying to communicate, and say it at a different level. Then you can get your point across. So I've learned to use my inner voice, and before it is now that I really escalate, I go soft. And I'll start talking in a slow.
So y'all already know.
Manner.
She said before she go there, she go soft. Now y'all just heard her say it. So that means that if she done went soft, y'all better get ready, cause baby, after that soft comes the storm.
So but seriously, I have learned. I'll go soft, and then I'm going. And
she
then,
reiterated
9 times out of 10, I'm just gonna walk away because it ain't worth it.
No,
really
sometimes the biggest victory is keeping your peace.
Yes,
though.
It is.
It's keeping your peace. So we just have to learn that arguing with stupid
It's
you know,
not
it's not. It's
worth
just
it.
not worth it.
It
It's
is
not
not
worth your
worth
peace,
it.
your energy, your time. And I'm gonna tell y'all something too. And this is one of my favorite. Anybody who know me know that. I always say this. You cannot. I don't care how you say it, do it, what you do. You can't get time back.
Right.
Meaning,
can't.
so in that time of you arguing, you can't get that time of your life back.
cannot.
So you might as well stop arguing and just start thinking before you speak.
Yes.
And that means be quick to listen
and
slow to speak. That's why we have 2 ears and one mouth. So,
Yes.
you know, and she say, when you're passionate, you speak in all caps. That's right.
Oh,
That's,
yes.
that's
I
right.
get in trouble all the time
That's right.
at work
That's
because I am very passionate and in hyping people up. I'm very passionate about motivating people, getting people excited, because when there is someone that's down, I feel, it can literally get on you. So I refuse for that to jump on me. So I try to keep it excited all the time. So my reps, they'll tell me all the time, Michelle, can you please take your caps off? Because I said, look, I'm just excited. I'm not yelling at y'all.
Right.
I'm not yelling.
Right.
I'm excited about
Exactly.
what it is that we doing. So I'm not yelling.
Right.
I'm just overly excited.
Overly excited.
I think that, me as a person, I can get overly excited real quick because I use my hands to communicate a lot too. I'm very expressive, and I can be very temperamental too.
So I'm going to give out some more scriptures, and I pray that you all are writing these scriptures down, so on your free time you can go back and read them and study them for yourself, because like we said, a lot of stuff we research, we look up, we talk about it, but, we be wanting you all to engage with us, and if it's something that we may have said wrong, we can stand to be corrected. We never feel like we can't stand to be corrected.
Because nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect, and we never said that. That's why it's called Why
Not
Say
It.
And there you have it. Ecclesiastic 3:7. James 1:19-20. 2 Timothy 2:23-24. Proverbs 26:4-5. And those are some of the scriptures you can go back and you can meditate on as far as stop arguing with stupid.
And one thing that I want to say, kind of in closing, that when you had asked about what I realized or what it is that I learned from stop arguing with stupid, I didn't stop speaking because I had nothing to say. I stopped arguing because I finally realized that everybody doesn't deserve access to my peace. If anybody have heard what it is that we've been saying all night, your peace is very, very important.
Yes.
So when you stop arguing with stupid, that means that you have realized that whoever that stupid is don't deserve your peace.
So let me say this, and this is the last question I have. When should a Christian speak up, and when should a Christian walk away?
So I feel that a Christian should speak up when it is that they are given encouraging words, when it is that they are trying to help calm that person down by using scripture. Because when you start speaking scripture at somebody, believe me, whatever the purpose was that they were trying to intend, you'll start seeing them calm down. You'll start seeing them, and my favorite one is peace be still.
Yeah.
Peace be still. And I'll even throw at you, no weapons formed against me shall prosper.
Yeah.
Because when you start throwing darts, stones, knives, forks, whatever it is that you want to throw at me, your weapon can't touch me because I'm already protected.
So when should a Christian walk away?
When a Christian should walk away is when it is that they know that that battle is not theirs to fight. Mm-hmm. Walk away from it because the battle is already being fought. The battle is actually already won. Learn how to walk away from those fights for the simple fact and reason being it's not your fight to fight.
It's not.
No,
it's not.
No,
it's not.
No.
So with that being said, on tonight, we have just been talking about I stopped arguing with stupid. So prayerfully, you all got something out of that. And if you did, that's a blessing because, you know, it's just one of those things.
We all have arguing with stupid.
Listen, we are not exceptions on that.
That's
Because
right.
like I said, if you hear me saying it, in this season of my life, I am really practicing and learning a lot about God's word and how to live. And I thank God for his word. And I thank God because he shows me favor and his mercy. Oh, his mercy is so
forever enduring.
Man.
Yes,
and,
it is.
And it's just because, you know, when you look back on your life and all the things you thought you was right about, and you say, oh, man, I was way off the mark. Because when you start learning God's word and how to live and how to treat your fellow person, man, you saying, I thank God because, baby, God could have took me out a long time ago with the way I was acting.
Right,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? So I just thank God for that. And like I said, I stopped arguing with stupid. Yes, I still flare up sometimes, but like I said also, I am a work in progress.
And we all are,
But
because nobody's perfect.
I just don't flare up as often as I used to. And I'm praying that God takes that totally away from me so that I can be more quick to listen and slow to speak.
And when it is that you flare up, start quoting some scriptures even to yourself in your mind,
most definitely.
because then that will also help
Most
humble
definitely.
you and calm
Most
you
definitely.
down, and you will know which way it is that you need to go from arguing with stupid. But before we go, I just have a shout out. I got a big shout out. I hope they're listening.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Bella!
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, grandbaby.
Happy birthday to you.
Yay! My grandbaby turned 12 today. Shout
Free
out
teen.
to Isabella Jones.
Free team.
Yes, shout out to Isabella Jones. We love you, grandbaby.
Yes.
So until the next time, we love you guys. We always want to thank everybody for tuning in. We even thank the people that call in. And for those who haven't called in, we love for you all to call in to get in on these conversations. Share your knowledge as well, because to have knowledge and not share it is like,
it's actually powerless.
it's powerless. It's very powerless, because if God gave it to you, that means he wanted you to pay it forward. That meant somebody gave it to you, so you have to give it to somebody else. So with that being said, stop arguing with stupid. Just look at them and be like, child, not today.
Yes.
Not every battle. Not today.
Yes.
Not today.
Not
But we
today.
thank you all for tuning in. We love you guys. We will not be here next Friday, but we will be here the following Friday. And we have a treat for you all that's coming up.
Oh,
We
yes,
have a treat for
do.
you all that's coming up. We're not going to tell you when, but we'll let you know before time. So with that being said, Mrs. Mink, would you like
I'm
to say
sure you've heard of the
What I would like to say is peace, love, and happiness all the time. Stop arguing with stupid, because stupid won't argue back if it is that you walk away.
That's right. And if you start with self, self-discipline, self-respect, self. Start with self. Self is the
with
man or the
self.
woman in the mirror. That's self.
That's
So
right.
it takes two.
That's right.
So if someone is trying to argue with you, just tell them, not today.
Yes.
I don't want to argue. We can talk, but I
not
don't want to argue.
We not both getting ready to be stupid, both of us.
So, exactly. So, stop arguing with stupid.
Protect your peace.
Protect your peace.
Yes.
Protect your energy.
Don't give everybody access.
Blink and black may be the last thing you do.
That's right.
So that means that protect your peace. Stop arguing with stupid. We thank you all on this evening.
Good night.
Make sure that you tune in, not next Friday, but the following Friday.
Yes.
Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. We love you guys. Till next time.
Bye.
Bye. Stop arguing with stupid.
Gave too much, stayed too long, kept calling wrong things right, just to keep them in my life. But I'm not that woman anymore. I remember nights I cried in silence, trying to keep the peace while losing mine. Walking on eggshells in my own house, smiling outside, falling apart inside. I kept making excuses for the disrespect, kept forgiving things I won't forget, till one day I looked in that mirror and said, girl, you ain't got nothing left. So I packed my pain and walked away. No more begging somebody to change, no more accepting less than I deserve, no more sacrificing myself for love. Oh, I cried when I left, but those tears saved me. Had to choose myself before that love broke me. Now I know the difference between love and losing me. And baby, I'm never going back to who I used to be. I finally found my peace, and I ain't letting nobody take it from me. I survived what almost destroyed me. Now I'm standing in the woman I was meant to be. You can love me, but don't disturb my peace. You can hold me, but don't control me. If loving you costs me loving me, then baby, you gotta let me be. I finally found my peace, and I swear I'm protecting it. No relationship will ever have me begging somebody just to respect me again. I finally found my peace. Yeah, I finally found me. Yeah, now home feels different. Ain't no tension when I walk through the door. I can breathe without wondering what somebody's mad about anymore. Ain't checking phones, ain't reading between lines, ain't losing sleep trying to figure out lies. I don't need chaos to call it passion, I don't need pain to feel alive. I learned that love ain't supposed to scare you, love ain't supposed to make you disappear. Love should never cost your confidence or make you question why you're still here. So if I see those red flags waving, I'm not staying around to translate. I've already paid for that lesson and I won't pay that price again. I cried when I left, but those tears saved me. Had to choose myself, till that love broke me. Now I know the difference between love and losing me. And baby, I'm never going back to who I used to be. I finally found my peace, and I ain't letting nobody take it from me. I survived what almost destroyed me. Now I'm standing in the woman I was meant to be. You can love me, but don't disturb my peace. You can hold me, but don't control me. If loving you costs me loving me, then baby, you gotta let me be. I finally found my peace, and I swear I'm protecting it. No relationship will ever have me begging somebody just to respect me again. I finally found my peace. Yeah, I finally found me. I choose peace over potential, peace over promises, peace over, I swear I'll change, peace over staying for the memory.